Welcome to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcasts.
The EU has mobilized massive funding to achieve the twin green and digital transitions. But how is that money being spent? And how can we accelerate the implementation of reforms and investments in EU countries? This is one of the 10 issues to watch in 2024, analyzed by the European Parliamentary Research Service. Stay with us.
Going greener and digital is crucial to ensure resilient economies and societies which are able to thrive through sustainable and inclusive growth.
But this twin transition requires massive additional investments in the EU, estimated at around 650 billion euros yearly for green and digital projects up to 2030. So how is the EU contributing to footing that bill?
The answer is Next Generation EU. With this €800 billion instrument, the EU is helping EU countries recover from the pandemic stronger than before. And at its core, the Recovery and Resilience Facility, which provides grants and loans to support the necessary reforms and investments in EU countries.
It's the largest recovery project in Europe since the Marshall Plan in the late 1940s. So the money is there, but how is it being spent? Here's Alessandro D'Alfonso from the European Parliamentary Research Service.
Well, most of Next Generation EU's resources are channeled through national plans that EU countries implement under the Recovery and Resilience Facility. And the latest annual report from September 2023 showed that these recovery plans are supporting a wide range of investment and reform measures in areas that are strategic for a greener and digital future. Sustainable mobility, energy efficiency, digital public services, skills for the twin transition, you name it. Implementation is now of the essence.
In recent months, unexpected challenges such as high inflation and Russia's war on Ukraine have led to a revision of the recovery plans, not least to reinforce their energy dimension with additional investment and reforms in this area.
The thing is, as of January 2024, EU countries had met 15% of the green objectives and 13% of the digital ones. So, given that all measures need to be completed by 2026, the final year of the Recovery and Resilience Facility, and that EU countries still have to meet more than 8 out of 10 of the green and digital objectives, we can safely assume that 2024 will be a crucial year to accelerate delivery on the twin transition.
In the course of this year, hundreds of investment and reform targets linked to the twin transition are scheduled to be completed. For example, the entry into force of new laws streamlining procedures for wind energy projects in Estonia, the energy-efficient renovation of at least 160,000 homes in Spain, the transition to a new rail safety system in the Netherlands, or the extension of high-speed internet connections to an additional 200 schools in Slovenia.
And considering the temporary nature of the EU's recovery instrument and the huge investment needs for the twin transition, delays in the implementation of such projects should be avoided, as it's either use the money by 2026 or lose it.
But who's making sure that the money is well spent?
It's clear that proper scrutiny of implementation is key to ensure that resources are being well spent and be able to react should that not be the case. And the European Parliament has a key role to play here. We spoke to the chair of the Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee, Irene Tinagli.
The implementation of the Recovery and Resilience Facility is proceeding. Most countries have respected all the deadlines, targets and milestones that were included in their national plans. So these are all good news. Of course, there have been some problems related especially to new crises that have emerged after the COVID, like the energy crisis, inflation. This has imposed some revisions of the plans, and in some cases this has slowed down a little bit the implementation. But what we need to do now, that the plans are already revised, is to focus and accelerate the implementation, having in mind the final outcome and impact on the overall economy. If we all manage to focus on this, I'm optimistic that we will have good results.
Want to know more? Check out the full study, 10 Issues to Watch in 2024, on the EPRS website or in our app.
This is a European Parliamentary Research Service podcast.
Thanks for listening.